Hey, there you are. You're live.
Are
You
we
did it.
live?
Yeah, you did it.
Yay! I'm so excited. It has been a long time since I have been live on my channel, and StreamYard has changed quite a bit. So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But hello, all. Welcome to our first show on my channel. So this would be our second episode because last week's show was on Renee's channel, Flippin FLAmingos. I'm excited for the show. I'm also excited to be live on my channel. It's not that I've been missing from YouTube. I just haven't been live on my channel in a really long time. So let's hope that like 2 people at least show up. Goals, 2 people.
There's more than 2 people in. You should say hi to who's here.
Yes, let's say hi, then we'll get into it.
I mean, one's already called you a PETA, right?
I know. Well, that's our thing. There's Goose. That's Chris the Goose.
I've said that before. I'm like, you're such a PETA, and people are like, what does that mean?
So Craig and I, Land Shark Picker, go way back, like 5 years back, and I always say, pain in my ... Craig. He's not really a pain. He's an awesome guy, a great supporter, much appreciative of him for sure.
Yeah.
There's Glenn in there.
Hi, Glenn.
What up, Swamp? Swamp is also like OG around my channel. I've been friends with Swamp for quite some time. And Beth, I know that she is not able to watch. Today's her birthday. Happy birthday, Beth. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my sweet Beth. Happy birthday to you. She'll watch the replay.
Cha-cha-cha.
Yeah, so she lives here in the Houston area. And I just saw her last week. She's drinking margaritas. Oh,
I had one of those before the show. A margarita before the show.
Did you? Oh, margarita sounds awesome.
It was really good.
Yeah, margarita sounds awesome. There's sweet Cassie.
Hi, Cassie.
What up, sweetheart? The queen bean. Oh, there's a Popo.
Oh, no.
In the house. Watch out.
Yeah, I had one following me home from dinner today.
You what?
I had a Popo follow me home from dinner today.
Oh, did you? Was it Joe?
It was.
He didn't pull you over?
No, I always expect for him to light him up one day and pull me over just for fun. And tell me what I'm doing wrong with my driving, because I always, when he's driving, I'm always like, you drive me nuts. You're speeding. Slow down. All right. I said, I'm like, I would totally give you a ticket for that. He goes, I would give you a ticket for so many things. And so I just wait for one day that I am driving in front of him to just light him up. And then,
you should, and then have him film it. It would be hilarious.
So I mean, I'm very careful when I drive. Whenever he's behind me,
so nervous. Like I get nervous when other people are even in the car. But so when we eventually do get together, and I know that you've met Chris the Goose in person, but Joe, you're not allowed to drive behind me. Okay, just so you know.
He's like, he's bad. If you ever meet him, then you can judge his drive.
It's just win.
Well, it is win at this point. Yeah. Like I met Glenn. We had the first reseller meetup and I met him at the first meetup.
Mm-hmm.
And those are always fun whenever we can get together and, rent a house and just hang out and meet some of the people in person.
Yes, absolutely.
played some games, and
Yeah.
it's like you meet them for the first time, but you really haven't met them for the first time because you've talked to each other for so long online. So
how many channels you got, Craig? So that's how I get blue. You know, I didn't bring up my other YouTube so that I could wrench people, because if you're blue, I like you. If you're not, I may not know you yet. So don't be afraid if you're not to, come in and say hello, as long as you're not like a psycho. I say a crazy person, but I'm kind of a crazy person. So let me go and do this real quick.
You're a good kind of crazy.
So yes, so Renee and I decided, and we've been chatting back and forth about, doing something on YouTube. We both run into each other and do auctions type of things through YouTube, but I was kind of missing YouTube, and I went to a reseller event back in, I don't know, it was the end of January. It was the Trash to Cash podcast meetup, and I loved it. And there were so many people, that were asking, like, where did you go? What happened? Why aren't you doing YouTube? And it sort of, inspired me to do it again, because I originally started YouTube, and Renee knows this, because being a reseller can be pretty lonely sometimes. And so I started YouTube to interact with people, to fill that sort of void of being stuck in my house, all the time. And life got busy. And if you go back to last week's episode on Renee's channel, you can see, I'll drop her link. You can see that we go into a little bit of detail about what I've been up to. Let me drop this. Let's see how fancy I can be here.
No, you guys.
Bam.
Yes. No, stay there.
What up, bum crack? Bum no crack.
Bum crack.
Yeah. So her and I have been talking for quite some time about trying to do something. And I love Renee so much. She's such a great, good-hearted person. Totally my vibe. I was like, let's do something. She was like, oh, okay. Pretty much. And that's how this, show got started and inspired. How do you, Craig, not have...
I'm easy. Just don't tell my husband that.
You're awesome. Like, I'm so excited and honored that you wanted to do this with me. Okay, I'm adding some moderators here real quick.
My husband is like making noises over here. I thought he had me.
Hear him.
Well, he's like, oh. I was moving the computer because I wanted you to see my puppies, because look at them. They're watching.
Let's see.
There's 3 of them there.
Cute babies.
And then there's one over there. But he's wanting to come over
There's
here.
Popo. I see Greg Dupage, a big head. I have to give him a special shout out. I miss you so much. I'm so glad that you made it in. Okay, so tonight we're gonna get to know Renee a little bit, and stay tuned, because here in just a few, we're going to rapid fire Renee some 20 questions. I kind of sprung her on this right before the show. I was like, this is what we're going to do. And, she was like, oh, okay. But I encourage the audience to participate, because not only do we want to get to know Renee, but y'all know I love you all watching, and we want to also get to know you. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, Renee, let's chat about what our plan for our show is, or sort of a general idea.
Well, I mean, you speak it so eloquently.
I'm just full of it, really.
Well, it's probably gonna be in the works all the time.
It is. This is sort of a process for sure.
Yeah, I think it's gonna evolve over time, as it should. It just like any good story or channel should, because things are always changing, especially in our world. But we do plan on bringing in guests to talk to on both of our channels. Sometimes we'll have a guest, sometimes we won't. Sometimes we'll be drunk, and sometimes we won't. Sometimes
it's quite possible. You never know. We just really wanted to have a good sort of vibe. Chat with you all. Let's chat. When we do have guests, we want to get to know our guests, because there's so many people out there, especially reselling, because that's obviously a very big part of our life. But I don't think you always get to know the person. So that was sort of our intention. And it doesn't, our guests aren't going to always necessarily be just reset,
right.
But,
it could be any.
Really just never know. We plan on doing game nights, we just want to have a good time, no pressure, sort of situation, and hang out. I see, I don't mean to interrupt, but I see my Santa in there. Barry, what's up, Barry? How are you? And Beth was talking about you earlier in her live today.
Seeing some new faces for me. And
so that's why I wanted to do this show about getting to know you, because I figured there would be people who didn't know you. And actually, Renee, if you go back and watch my very last pre-recorded video, which I, by the way, plan on doing more content. I'm working on it. I've lost my monetization because I've been missing for so long in YouTube. But if you go back and watch my very last video of, I don't know, some update or what I've been up to or something like that, there is a small little, like 5 seconds or 2, I don't know how, it's very short, of you on the screen, because you were doing an auction with Big Barn.
Oh, yeah.
So what's up, Joyce?
Yeah, I did a lot of. That's how I got my start. Do tell. So what? Oh, first off, before we get into that, you're married, right? I am. I'm married to Joe. If you have come on, like, I know Joyce and Cassie have definitely been on and watched us. Joe is my partner in crime, my ride or die. And we have been married for, it'll be 18 years this April.
Wow.
And we have 2 children, 25 and 23. So
that's awesome.
So it's nice. We're kind of like, we're empty nesters, sort of. Like, I see my youngest son every once in a while. He comes over for dinner or to do his laundry. We have 4 dogs, so those are our babies, and they are very, very spoiled. But I met Chris at one of the very first meetups in Florida. And we hung out with him the entire time we were there. and he
He's
was,
a good time. I mean, I must say, he's a good time.
he is, and he is super sweet. And we started talking, and I kept saying to my husband, ask him, I kept bumping him, ask him if he wants to do his own auction thing, like a YouTube channel, YouTube auction with us. And he was like, I don't know. I mean, he auctions with T and Donna and blah, blah, blah. And had we already auctioned with T and Donna? Yeah, we had, T and Donna, or T would take on somebody I think new every Wednesday. And we had shown with them, and we like sold a lot of high ticket items. And so we eventually talked to Chris, and he was like, sure, I'd like to auction with you guys. So we started auctioning together with Auctions for You, so all of us. And then it was just Big Barn with Chris and I and Joe. And then all kinds of things changed. Like you said, you grow. I had health problems, and I had to stop auctioning for a time being. And Chris got busy with going, after the pandemic, Chris got busy with his people, his big, I shouldn't say it that way. His, I don't know how to say it, because I want to say his real job, but that's all right.
Well, yeah. So he has a job that he does during the week, and then during the pandemic, reselling was a hot thing, and so his Amazon was like through the roof back then. He's mostly an Amazoner. I'm the eBayer. We are actually now doing District. His store is Mega Media Mall. I will drop that in the chat. You're also doing that, right, Renee?
We are, but we are not like you, and the fact that we don't own our own marketplace yet. We will be soon. I'm thinking, I don't know, we're talking about it. But I sell on 1, 2, 3, 4 of the marketplaces in District right now.
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole show, and well, not a whole show, but we'll have to have the boys come on and maybe talk about District, because it's a new thing. Oh, what's up, Crystal? Rosie's Closet. Oh, I miss your face.
Now
that fills my heart. All these OGs showing up.
Sweet. Now I kind of take offense to that, because I think I know more about District than Joe does.
Yeah, I know nothing about it. Nothing.
I think that I'm the one that gets to kind of start the research on new things, because I'm home all the time and get to be more in touch.
We did an auction the last week, right before the show, which was why obviously it was the show was at 8:00 Central Time instead of our normal Central or our normal 7:00 hour. I just dropped next week's show, which will be on Renee's channel, because we rotate every single week. So it would be on her channel one week, and then my channel, and then back on my channel, and we just flip flop every week. I just dropped her link, so if you can please go and subscribe, so you don't miss out on next week's show. All right, so tell me, Renee, what got you into reselling?
Well, prior to reselling, I was a teacher, an elementary school teacher, and I lived in a university town where at the end of school, at the end of fall classes and getting ready for summer, students would be leaving their apartments or homes and they were throwing out their stuff. And they throw out everything. And primarily during that time, I was picking up stuff that I could repurpose, mostly furniture, and I was repurposing furniture. And then I started watching some resellers like Commonwealth Picker, Crazy Lamp Lady. Those were, I think, my primary go-tos. And I was like, wait, what? They're picking this stuff up at garage sales and they're reselling it. You know, I was like, I can do that. And then I saw people reselling on Facebook Marketplace, and that's how I started out. And I was picking up things for like $2 and reselling them for $20. And you know, Joe's like, wait. So people are meeting you to buy something for $20 that you paid $2 for. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, we need to look into that more.
Right.
So that's how it all began. And it just took off from there. And now, I mean, I guess we've been doing it officially on eBay and on YouTube since 2019.
Okay.
So not very long. I mean, 5 years. But prior to that,
That's a minute, though. That's a minute.
So, and before that, maybe a year and a half, selling repurposed furniture and stuff. So that's how it got started.
Well, that's cool. That's, you know, I'm always interested to see what makes people want to start to sell treasures.
Yeah.
You know, like what encourages them to do it.
It's supplemented my I was going to say, I don't like to call it our day job, or I think we should call it our primary job. It supplemented my primary job because, you know, teaching you don't make that much. And
yeah, that's like Kevin Commonwealth, like talks all the time about how he was a teacher and how he makes way more, you know, reselling. And I just, you know, I'm always like in love with the treasure hunt, you know, to go out and like find things that are unique or cool. Like what do you, okay, so do you have a favorite item that you like to sell?
My favorite item is glass. And I will have to say at first, I didn't have a favorite item, but I love vintage glass. And I've kind of gotten my husband into it as well. Because he's heard me talk about it so much, and he has gotten into, you know, looking at it more. He's like into the uranium and the cadmium and the different glass that glows. And so like our living room is full of it. And we just picked up a piece. We were showing it to Chris before the show started. That it might be Murano. I need to look into it a little bit further. And it's I'll show it to you in a bit here if you want to see it. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'll get it.
Yeah. So a lot of people are very afraid of glass or breakables. I haven't been selling as much as I used to. When I made the sort of transfer from Colorado to Texas, I didn't want to bring a whole lot of that with me, but there are a lot of people who are afraid to sell glass, so they avoid it at all costs. And I don't think yes, it takes a little more time, you know, to ship, but you know, if you can get it for the right price and and you know what you're sort of doing. All right, what you got?
So it's just a little nut dish. It's a pretty good sized nut dish, and it looks like a little flower. And you put your nuts in there, and it's a squirrel, and it's holding an acorn.
That's cool. Yeah, Crystal says Rose's Closet says that's awesome. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a squirrel one before. I've seen like ducks and swans and
it's hand blown, and that you can tell that the pontil has been rubbed off. It's been polished off the bottom, which are nice indications that
Murano, right?
But the only one, like, we did the Google image search, and the only ones that we can find listed are Murano. And I'm like, some of it reminds me of Murano, but then some of the craftsmanship, I'm like, I don't know.
Right, because Murano is very, like, it's, it has little bubbles in it. It's usually a polished bottom. There's actually a lot. The whole thing about now is there's a lot of like Chinese glass that is done really, really well. So
they're getting really good
to check it. And either way, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not worth anything. Good quality piece, with no bubbles in it. But Murano is definitely like high quality, polished bottom, not usually bubbles unless they're there on purpose.
Right, controlled bubbles.
Yeah, controlled. That's
but I mean, it's done very well. But I don't know. I have my doubts about it. So, but I've had doubts about Murano before, and it turns out that it is, because there are such good fakes. I start to second guess myself.
Right.
So, we'll see.
That's cool that you're into that, because like I said, there's not a lot of people who like to do that because of the shipping part. My whole thought process is like, for those that sell clothes, well, you take time to defuzz it, destain it, take measurements and all that, and then yes, you can throw it in a poly mailer and be done with it. But how is that so different from doing glass, where it's real easy to photograph, but yet it takes longer to ship? So really, it's just sort of your preference and what you would rather deal with.
Yeah, it just, like I would tell somebody I don't want to ever do clothes again, because you spend the time.
I'm not a fan of clothes. I do know they sell, but it's not my personal preference.
Look who just came in. Miss Daddy came in.
What up, buddy?
No. You spend all that time with clothes measuring it, and then they still have questions. They ask 1,000 questions, and I understand, because you're buying something online. I would be the same way. I'd ask 1,000 questions because I'm like, I'm buying it online and it says no returns. So I'm going to ask a lot of questions.
Right.
But there's no such thing as no returns. Come on.
Right. Absolutely. So I don't personally have returns on my eBay, but eBay will automatically do it anyways, depending on if it's item not described. So it's just really, and hopefully, in one show or something, we can get more into that, because I'm always curious as to what everybody thinks on that, front, because I don't think what worked for me may not work for you. Or for example, my friend Beth, reseller Robo, like, she sells clothes and she does awesome at it. But our way of going about eBay and reselling is very different.
Right.
Very different. And so what worked for me may not, work for her. What up, Larry?
Well, if she may do it in such a way, she just like she has a talent, she has the ability to present it and be able to talk to her customers in print better than I could. Because maybe she knows more about fashion. I don't. I
Oh, see, she's in there. I was just talking about you.
I just go and buy clothes that I think look good on me, even though they don't. But she may be someone that is a fashion.
Yeah, she's Beth is so good about clothes. I don't know if you saw it because I know you're celebrating your birthday, Beth. But I did sing to you, my sweet friend. I hope you're enjoying your margaritas, and I miss you, and I can't wait to hang out with you again.
Betty said it looks like you've turned gray. What?
No,
I'm both
keep track. Okay, so let's get into, because I know we're 30 minutes into this. Are you ready for some questions?
Yes.
Audience participation is appreciative, so feel free to say what your answer would be. Also, what up, my favorite hater?
I got some eyes for coats.
How are you?
I want to see them.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably has a video out of that. Maybe.
Well, maybe the video is already out. He's pretty good about turning out his videos.
He is.
Yeah. I'm not so good. And
yeah,
Larry.
I'm not great at putting videos out either. I mean, it's taken me 3 years, so there you go.
Yeah, we need to
go. But I am literally editing videos right now to start putting back out. I'm really excited about it. I'm really happy to be back. I have missed you all.
Now that Chris will show his face on videos and everything, we should get him to come on and chat with us.
I don't know if he'll do that. He's a little shy. Maybe we'll have to get a hold of him.
He's been coming out of that. I mean, maybe I can.
Yeah, it's just us. It's just us.
It's just us. And Larry,
he's not really a hater. Our whole thing started for Cajun. We're talking about Cajun reseller.
Yeah,
is him and I both love another left turn NASCAR, which actually I'm going to a friend's house this weekend to watch NASCAR. But yeah, we didn't have the same views on a person, and so that's where it started. But I love him. He's not really my hater. We're just being silly.
Is that the monkey covering his eyes or mouth? I can't tell.
Oh yeah, because he's shy. He's shy. Okay, all right. First question, and please, those in the chat sticking around, let us know what your answer is as well. What are some of your hobbies, or one of your hobbies?
I don't really have any hobbies.
Did you say something about jewelry or something to me?
Well, Joe just went like this. I collect glass, glowy glass. I used to do wire wrap jewelry, but I really haven't done any of that for a long time. But I would say my biggest hobby, I don't know, when I think of hobby, I think it's like something you do like every day or every other day or something.
No, it doesn't have to be every day. Like if you had more time. For me, I love to paint. Right now, I don't really have a whole lot of time for that because I'm changing a lot of diapers, dealing with a baby. I don't know if he's awake or sleeping, but
they're
taking good care of who's going to make a presence or not tonight.
I would say glass collecting is my biggest hobby, and then I like crafts, pretty much any kind of crafts. And you've seen I like to bake and decorate cupcakes.
Oh my goodness, y'all, she is so talented in the cupcake thing. She showed me a picture, and this was like a while back. She sent me a picture. She's like, "This is my first cupcake I ever made, cupcakes." And I was like, "Are you serious? Like, send me some of that." Obviously, it wouldn't probably end up coming to me like that, but she has talent. She has cupcake talent for sure.
She's being all too nice, and she just
she
really,
for real does.
Reselling is a good hobby.
Yeah. So Rosie's Closet says sewing and cooking. Goose says reselling is a great hobby. Cassie says hanging out with my calligraphy, diamond art, cross stitch. Yeah.
I like that diamond art. Oh,
yeah, I did one once, and it took us like a week. And I don't know what it is because I'm an artist and I love to paint. But man, those little diamond things, I was like, yeah, the one and done on this.
I was like, I think that would just tick me
I didn't know this. Metal detecting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He tries to take me with him to do it, and I just get.
I would think that was so. I used to have a metal detector before I got my pacemaker because I have a pacemaker, and apparently metal detecting is like a no-go. So I gave up my metal detector, but I used to love it so much. Like I'm always a treasure hunter. I love it so much.
Say you can go. I cannot. If it doesn't,
my peanut. That's my daughter. She says puzzles.
If it doesn't beep right away, I'm like, this is boring. It's like fishing.
So does Joe go do metal detecting in dirt or in water?
Both. He's done both.
Yeah. Okay.
His metal detector is good for both.
That's so cool. I didn't even know that. Y'all should make some videos on that. Okay. If you could travel anywhere in the world for free, where would it be?
Ireland.
No cost. Where?
Ireland.
That's mine too. That's my same answer.
But I want to go there so bad, and Joe knows it. So,
too.
like, I told him, if you ever get a chance to get us a trip for somewhere, I want to go to Ireland. He's like,
yeah,
okay.
That's my place too. I'm very Irish in my bloodline. And so and it's just a couple generations back. So I want to go there so bad. All right, let's see what the chat says. So Cajun says, Panama Canal. I've been there. I have been there. Really, really, really cool. Like super cool.
And Japan.
Which is Closet says Japan. Popo says 1 year trip around the world.
It's free.
He just went, it's free. It's free.
Castle. Where is that at?
High Claire?
High Clear. I don't know.
Castle.
I like castles. Like that sounds cool. I'm in.
Yeah. I think I could live in a castle.
Yeah. I would like that. Well, only if I had a maid. Because, like, we live in a house big enough now that I'm questioning the amount of space there is in here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I need to, like, hire a maid.
Well,
all right.
Castles come with maids.
It's the Downton Abbey.
Oh, okay.
It's the home of the Downton Abbey. Oh, okay. Yes. I'd love to go there. Yes. I watched all of that. I loved it.
Do you? All right. If you were in, this question's awesome. If you were in a high-speed chase, what song would be blaring on your radio? If you were in a high-speed chase.
Oh my gosh.
So for me, all I could think about when I saw this question was The Distance by Cake. She's going the distance. She's going for speed. She's all alone. All alone. Alone in time of need. Oh, see, this is a good one right here.
Yeah, so
Fat
Christian
Boys,
said
Fat
it.
Boys.
Highway to Hell by AC/DC. Pretty
yeah.
much any AC/DC song I would have blaring.
Yeah.
It would not have to be anything to do with the being speeding or just if I was going fast, I could play pretty much any AC/DC song. But Highway to Hell would be a good one.
yeah. Yeah. I like me some AC/DC. All right. So what was the last meal you ate?
Oh, we ate out for dinner. And I had what? I can't say that. Baja. It was a Baja bowl.
A Baja bowl. Okay.
Yeah, it was good. It had rice in it, and chicken, and steak, and what is it? How do you say it? Chorizo.
Yeah.
And shrimp. Did I say that right? 3 different kinds of meat in it, and melted gooey cheese. And it was really good. I made frog.
Delicious.
It was delicious.
I think it's messing up. Hopefully Frogate still has their wrench. I've been so gone, like it's been so long since I've been on YouTube that I'm like worried that people just randomly lose their wrench.
I don't.
Let's see. Pizza, sausage and potatoes. It sounds delicious. Pizza. Yeah. Yummy. All right. What is your favorite season and why?
I like spring because it's the perfect temperature and you get to see everything in bloom, all the flowers, all the colors, the bright, vivid colors of spring. And my birthday's in the spring. So
Cassie says winter. What is wrong with you?
Well, she lives in the perfect place for it.
I live in Colorado. I am like over the snow. I now live in Texas and I love the weather here.
Yeah. Well, then Cassie lives in the perfect place for her then, I think.
Rhodes Clot says fall. Perfect. She lives in Vegas or just outside of Vegas. I'm somewhere around there. All right. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm a night owl.
Are you?
Outer.
Oh. So I am absolutely not a morning person. I wouldn't necessarily call me a night owl just because right now, like the baby is really messing with my sleep, but I am not a morning person. I'm okay until after I've had coffee.
Yeah.
Chris calls me the coffee monster. Like, he knows the drill. After 3 years, he's like, yeah, I just am not going to talk to her until she's had a cup of coffee. I get there almost every morning. I wake up and the baby's like flailing around like a freaking lunatic. And I'm like, here, take him so I can have some coffee.
Well, I think that's fair. You've done it, twice over and, this is Chris's first. He should get to experience all.
Yeah, he's experiencing it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, if you were stranded on an island, who would you want to be stranded with?
My husband.
Yeah? Georgia Bobo?
Yeah. Because he's very resourceful.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't bring your metal detector to the island, Joe.
But like, we're good together. Like, he's like, he knows where he could find something to eat. And I would be the one that would be like, oh, well, let's make this so we can eat out of it. Or let's make this so this this a straw so we can, and then he would help me perfect the straw, that kind of stuff. We work really good together like that.
I one would assume I would say Goose, which I love him. Love you, babe. But if I was stranded on an island, I mean, he'd be off working somewhere. I'd have to say my daughter, my almost 19-year-old. Like, she is just such a good vibe person. I mean, really, if I was stuck on an island with Goose, I would probably build a raft and ship him off somewhere. No,
well, I'm not saying
he's very resourceful, just like you're talking about. Like, he could probably build the most amazing little hut, whatever, and cook the most amazing meals. But for me, my mental part, I would have to say my daughter. Like, my mini me. She is. I love her so much, and we have spent a lot of time, almost 19 years together.
Yeah,
she's very much my vibe.
Definitely, I didn't say that Joe wouldn't have to live on the opposite side of the island and wait to hear me blow the conch.
Is your baby awake? Oh, we're gonna get a little special. Yes, did you hear me talking about you? Oh, speaking of my sweet girl and the baby, look, say hi, YouTube.
Hi,
YouTube.
Hi, Charlie.
What are you doing, baby? What are you doing? You hanging out with Sissy? Yeah, she's such a good big sister.
So cute. Joe just got a phone call.
Oh, if we get stuck on an island, just we're gonna be stuck together.
Shipping off Goose.
Yeah, we're shipping Goose off. First boat out of there.
Joe would have to probably stay at some point. He would have to stay on the other side of the island. And
take your metal detectors, girls.
I'd call him when I needed him for whatever I needed him for.
Yeah, the little conch. Okay, next question. Oh, I like this question. And Joe might have to help you out on this one.
He's on a phone call, so I don't know if he.
Oh, is he? Maybe
he went in. He went into the other room.
Okay, what ice cream flavor best describes you?
Oh my gosh, he might have
a million different ice cream flavors.
Have to
you got chocolate, Rocky Road.
Well,
you like smooth vanilla.
So he would have to definitely answer this because all I can think of is the ice cream that I like.
Yeah,
which I think would describe me well. That I love Neapolitan.
Mm-hmm. And I think that would be a good one for you.
I'm
a little different flavor. Depending on the day.
Yeah, just a little bit of each flavor. Yeah. And you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I think that's a great flavor. Rose's closet. There's hers.
Mocha almond fudge.
Almond fudge. Something sweet and salty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a little
sweet and salty, like salted caramel.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, I could see Cassie, being like
something that just like blends real good together,
like a salty caramel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Name a song you have completely memorized.
That I have completely memorized?
It could be the ABCs. So here's my answer.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. I know every single word to that.
And I love that song. Yeah.
Mama.
I mean, I would say
that would be.
Yeah, I'm really weird because if you ask me to just sing a song that I know every word to, I would revert back to like the lullabies. But if you were to turn on the radio and a song came on, I would know every word to the song that's
Yeah.
playing.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
Mm-hmm.
There's would be very little like of the 80s and 90s that I did not know because that was, whenever I was in high school. And my parents listened to Elvis and
Yeah,
Buddy
mine
Holly
too. Mine
and all that. So I know those too growing up. I listened to those. So I know those songs. But if you were to say, okay, Renee, sing me blah, blah, blah song, I'd be like, I can tell you a few words of it, but I don't have it committed to memory.
Yeah.
I think I did at one point, but it's way shuffled back there in a slot. My kids always ask me things, you don't remember that? And I'm like, well, now that you mention it, I do.
Right.
How can you not remember? I said, it's just not in that. My brain is not saving space for that anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
My brain is.
You mentioned Elvis, and all I could think about was, "Oh, baby, let me be your loving teddy bear." My mom used to make me listen to that all the time.
Yeah, and don't you step on my blue suede shoe.
Yeah. That's a great song. That's a great song. Okay. Where is the most interesting place you've ever traveled to?
Most interesting place I've ever traveled to.
Or it could be just your opinion that it was a cool place.
Well, I think the most interesting place I ever traveled to, and I haven't traveled to a lot of places, but whenever I was a kid, right before I turned 16, we traveled to Jamaica.
Oh,
and
cool.
I
That's pretty cool.
I loved it. I went with my parents, but it was so different. The culture was so different than the culture that I was used to.
Right. It's on my bucket list for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I loved it.
That's great. I've never been there. So that's a great. I think that's pretty interesting. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Mama G.
What up, Mama G? Do you have a family holiday tradition? It can be any holiday. And if so, what is it?
Right,
Greg. Okay, so for me, we put up every Christmas a Christmas village, and my dad had started it when I was really little, and every year we would buy a little ceramic Christmas house to add to our collection. It's a huge collection now, but that's what I do every single year is I put up this Christmas village. At this point now it's like a 2-day ordeal, but I love it. Makes the kids happy. And we continue to try to add every single year.
Oh, yeah. I would say that, no, my family, we didn't have a tradition.
Maybe it's just between you and Joe. Maybe you make stuffing every Thanksgiving, or whatever it is.
I would still say no. We don't really have a tradition because whenever I was younger, we celebrated Christmas either early or late at our house as children, or we were traveling and staying at relatives. So there wasn't we didn't make our own traditions.
Right.
We were always part of somebody else's tradition or family event.
Oh, fine.
I shouldn't say someone else's. It was our family, but we just we traveled to them.
Right.
So I guess you could say that was our tradition. Is that
spending time with family seems like
we always went to we always went to my aunt's house for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I was rarely home for Christmas, so that was our thing. My aunt really did up Christmas for us as kids, like decorated the decorations and everything were really neat. I always helped her make some kind of candy or helped her in the tradition to some degree. That was
I'd
more
say
of
that's tradition. Black Widow said had to have purple cabbage. There you go.
Oh.
All right. What did you want to be when you were little?
When I was little, I wanted to be a teacher.
Oh, see, and you made that happen.
I did. I made that happen. Joe's here, so I'm going to ask him, what flavor of ice cream would you say I am?
Neapolitan.
He said Neapolitan. Why is
Oh,
that?
see? Perfect. I agree to that. So for me, when I was little, I wanted to be an artist. I thought that I could do that. And then I figured out that you don't really become famous until you're dead. So
yeah, that's true. Or unless maybe if you wanted to cut off your ear right away, they might.
Rich teacher. There you go. All right. This will be good since Joe's around again. What is your spirit animal?
We were just talking. I was just talking to Nikki, picking Nikki today. Was it today or last night? I can't remember. Everything blends together. And she saw that squirrel bowl, and she said her spirit animal is a squirrel. And I asked her why, and she told me why.
So mine. I used to tell people back in the day on YouTube that it was a spider monkey. Like all over the place.
I would say, at this day and age, I'm a sloth. I feel, at least that's how I feel. What do you think?
When necessary.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm moving very slow but precise.
Joe says owl.
Oh,
that's a good answer.
You're an owl?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you think I'm a lioness?
Mm-hmm.
He said he thinks I'm a lioness.
Oh, I could see that.
I don't know what he means by that, but we'll find out.
Well, just doing what is necessary when needed.
Yeah. I guess I feel just so, I'm like, I kind of look like a sloth.
Renee. That's a funny answer. Okay, name something on your bucket list. You want to go skydiving, you want to go. I know you mentioned Ireland before.
Yeah, I definitely want to go to Ireland.
Yeah.
Gosh, you're asking tough questions because I don't have. Everybody's like,
anything. You want to bike 20 miles? You want to go to the beach next year in Maui? Name something that you. I mean, if you knew that you were going to die in 6 months, what would be something that you would want to make sure to do?
It would be to go to Ireland and to take my entire family with me to Ireland.
Well, see, that's a great answer.
That's the number one thing on my list. And I'd like to just do more traveling. I'd have to sit down and look at what things I would like to see because I haven't done a lot of traveling. But I don't, people talk about bucket lists. I'm like, I don't have a bucket. I mean, I don't have a bucket list. There's things I'd like to do. I'm like, what is this your said bucket list? Do you have, then I think I need to have one of those. Then I'm like, maybe I need to make a vision board. Maybe that's what's wrong with me.
No, you have nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Besides that, you're a sloth. No. Okay. Back to the island sort of thing. If you were stuck on an island and could only eat one food item every day, what would it be?
Oh.
For me, it would be potatoes. Because I feel like I could make all kinds of different things with potatoes, but it would be potatoes.
That's the only food if that's the only food you have, potatoes.
You have to eat it every day.
You're right.
You're already stuck on this island. We figured out.
But if you say
potatoes,
apparently potatoes,
you're eating pizza.
if you say potatoes and you're saying I can make other things with it,
Well, like I could
have
do
any other things, Kimberly. There's nothing else.
No, I'm talking about like you could slice them up, like maybe make some French fries, like mashed potatoes kind of thing. Throw in a little. I would want oil or whatever it is.
I would want some kind of meat. So I would say, like, I'm surprised Joe didn't say cheeseburger.
Because that would definitely not be my answer. I do not like cheeseburgers at all. So if y'all come to visit, we're not having cheeseburgers, just so you know.
I would have to say tacos, like fish tacos.
Oh, that's a great answer. That would probably be Chris the Goose's answer. Is tacos.
Yeah.
Oh, see? She knows. She knows. Okay. How many pairs of shoes do you own?
How many pairs of shoes do I own?
Yeah, some people it's like 2. They got like their work shoe, maybe their house shoe. For me, I don't exactly know. I don't know. It's like 25, maybe.
5? I own 5 pairs of shoes.
I used to own like 70. But I got rid of a whole lot, especially now with the baby. Like I ain't running around in high heels out here on the northwest side of Houston amongst the trees.
I used to have lots and lots of shoes, but
see,
as you get older, I think you have less because you had too many lots and lots of shoes when you were younger,
right?
And your feet really go through heck. When you're younger, and then you end up with bad feet, and then you only can wear certain kinds of shoes when you're older. So yeah, I have maybe 5.
Yeah, I like Rose's Closet answers, her answer, because she always dresses so cute and so fabulous. I'm sure it's an insane amount. She does a whole little vintage vibe where she does her little hair up. Oh, she's so cute.
I love shoes. So if I could wear the heels and stuff like I used to wear, I would have them. No problem. Mm-hmm. But I fall now and I wear tennis shoes, I
get it. All right. We're down to our last few, and then we have to wrap our show up. What is your favorite TV show? I mean, maybe you don't watch TV. I don't really know, but I go through phases because, like, if I'll watch a show and be like obsessed with it, and then watch it so much that I don't want to watch it anymore because I've now watched it way too much. I have a show that you like to watch.
I love This Is Us. I love
that show. I've seen every single episode.
But my all-time favorite is Sex and the City.
Sex and the City. I haven't watched that in a long time, but This Is Us. I've watched every single.
Yeah, I've watched every single one of that. And Sex and the City, I've watched all of those because I felt like it was appropriate during the time of my divorce. Mm-hmm. And I had 2 other friends that were going through a divorce, and I'm pretty sure we were living that life in almost every way at that time, at that point in time of our life. So it was pretty interesting. Joe, right. South Park.
What chore do you hate the most?
Oh, any chore. I don't like any chore.
Mine is laundry. I hate laundry. It's a necessity, obviously. With a small child, almost 5 months, there's a lot of laundry.
It doesn't stop.
And Chris is always, I'm sure that he would do it, but I'm real anal about how things are folded and laid. And that's just for my many years in working in retail where everything had to be like perfectly hung and folded. And so I'm like, don't touch it. Don't even look at it. My closet is like color coordinated, short to long. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think laundry or cleaning the toilets. Because it's a toilet.
Yeah, those are pretty.
I mean, it's not bad.
But I'm
to
a
do.
weirdo about toilets. Like that is one of my biggest pet peeves. If somebody doesn't have a white toilet, like I feel like I can't put my butt on it.
Well, it's not that
I don't want to touch the toilet. I'll do the whole hover thing. You don't got a white toilet.
I know it's our toilet and everything, and we like to keep a clean toilet, but it's still just kind of.
No, I get it. You know, and each person has their own thing. Okay, we're down to 2 questions, and then we got to wrap this up. What was one of the scariest moments of your life?
Marrying
like
Joe.
Maybe you drowned. Maybe you got in a car wreck. You know,
marrying Joe.
What?
Serious. Because I was getting married again, and I was like,
yeah, that would be scary. Like, is it gonna work? But y'all been together now quite some time.
Well, we only knew each other 10 months.
Wow.
At the time of getting married, we only knew each other 10 months. And I think we planned our wedding for 3 months. So, you know, we didn't know each other very long before we decided to get married to each other.
Well, it seemed to work out.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Yeah.
So good. He hasn't kicked me to the curb yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'd be silly to do that.
He's bounced me off the curb and back a few times.
So for me, and this is like quite a long story. I don't have time to, get into it, but I got shot at once. I went out to a bar actually, and I stepped outside, and there was a guy who jumped on his girlfriend and tried to stab her, and I was the only one out there, and so I tried to fix it, and I ran over there, pulled him off, got her away, took her out of the situation. He ran to his truck, pulled out a gun, and shot at me. He went to jail that night, and apparently he had like a warrant out. Like, he was in jail for a really long time. But that was absolutely one of the scariest moments,
I guess so,
of my life. So, I did what I had to do. I didn't know what else to do.
Well, that's good.
I was like, am I just gonna walk back inside? Like, this girl's being stabbed,
Well, you have that fight response instead of the flight.
I just and there's a lot of times in my life where I'll just walk away from a situation, but in a circumstance like that, like, I just, what am I gonna do? Like, go back inside and let him do that,
Right.
So yeah, that was pretty scary. All right, last question, and then we got to wrap it up. What is the last thing you do before bed?
I kiss. Well, Joe and I give each other a kiss.
Oh, so
say, I
sweet.
love you. Yeah, that's what
I change the baby's diaper and make him a bottle. That's how exciting my life is. Yeah. I do give Goose some smooches, but usually smooch him and then change the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. All right. So now we're a little past our normal time, which is fine. We like to stick around an hour. If we go over that, no big deal. I just want to mention where Goose and I are going to be at this week, because we do have a few auctions this next coming week. Not on my channel, but on others' channels. I'm going to drop the link. The first one is with Kim. It's about to get real on Tuesday. I think it's like 9 or 9:30. Such a riot she is. Going to be a great time. We've been on auctions with her before, so make sure, if you're interested in watching, to come watch that. And then next Thursday, our show with Renee and myself is going to be on her channel, and then it will be back on my channel the week after that. So here is her link. Make sure to go subscribe to her so you can watch next week's show. And then Friday,
Oh, look who just popped in.
we are. What up? What up, Kevin? Right? Holy
Kevin.
moly. Throwback. Such an honor that you're in here. I was talking about you earlier because you are one of the reasons I came back to YouTube. So I'm doing lives right now. I'm also working on editing content. So special shout out, love to you, because you are the reason that I am back here.
We just talked about him. We talked about him tonight.
Earlier. Yeah.
About how
such a great guy. You always wonder like how a person's gonna be when you watch them on YouTube, and he is very much himself. Really good-hearted man, full of knowledge. A great time to hang out with. I had one of the best trips I've had in a long time, going to the Trash to Cash podcast. I see some other people are showing up. What up, Thomas?
I like the last of the content that I watched where he was talking to a lady and she guessed how old. She was trying to guess how old he was. I think he asked, and she said 53 or something like that. And then she guessed like 60 or something. And I was like, oh man. On Trash to Cash, they are so.
They are. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart to watch the Trash to Cash, but it is absolutely hilarious. They definitely give Kevin a hard time, but Dave and Carrie are also. We also met them. Are really great guys. Okay, so next Friday, Goose and I are doing a jewelry auction with Cindy. Jewelry nurse, so make sure to check that out. And I think that's about it for our next week. I'm really excited for this show. I really appreciate you, Renee, and the fact that you decided to be a little co-host, and we decided to do this, every other week. And you also just make sure to subscribe, for sure, like this video, but subscribe to both of our channels because, again, it rotates every other week and you just never know what we're going to be up to, from having amazing guests. I'm going to do a little throwback on the guests, bring some people who were on my channel, many moons ago, a long time ago, bring them back. So we can see what they've been up to, and then stay tuned for some content that I'm currently editing that I'm really excited about.
I can't wait.
Be streaming. I love editing. I do. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I love it. And I have content backed up, and I just sort of went MIA, on YouTube. So we're going to do a little throwback and sort of catch everybody up to date. Do you have any last words, Renee, before I sing our way out of this stream?
I just come and watch us next Thursday. We look forward to having you. At this point, no, I'm not doing any auctions next week. Taking it easy. Hey, Thomas.
What up,
and I hope to see you next Thursday.
All right. Goodbye, YouTube. It's time to go.
Ba-bum.
Goodbye, YouTube. Hope you liked the show.
Ba-da.
We hate to leave you, but we really must say goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye. We will catch you all.